Welcome everyone to this Adnexi Livestream. My name is Sandra Shpilberg and I'm the founder and CEO of Adnexi, a disease intelligence platform. We hold these live streams to learn more about this crucial relationship between patients, researchers, and biopharma. And today my guest is Jeff D'Angelo. He's the proud father of JJ and the founder of the CHAMP1 Research Foundation. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate it. It's always humbling and
my pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So today our topic is the urgent search for rare disease researchers. And the CHAMP1 Research Foundation is one of the thousands of rare disease foundations and communities that are looking for rare disease researchers. So Jeff, why don't we start at the very beginning and you tell us a little bit more about what is CHAMP1?
Sure. So CHAMP1 is an acronym, stands for chromosome alignment maintaining phosphoprotein. So children that have a mutation to this gene, the vast majority of them are haploinsufficient. They're not getting enough of this protein, which is we know is crucial in mitosis and obviously for neurological development. So some of the symptoms that are associated with our kids, which are pretty common amongst rare disease, are hypotonia, epilepsy, and intellectual disability, among many more. So.
Yeah, thank you for that. And you came to know about this disease because your son was diagnosed with it.
Yeah, my son, JJ.
And JJ is how old now?
He's 6 years old.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for that. And then in turn, you went ahead and you started the CHAMP1 Research Foundation. So tell me more about that process. Why did you start the foundation and why do you hope to accomplish with it?
Sure. So pretty early on, after getting this diagnosis, we sort of came to the conclusion that there was nobody championing this cause, or championing the champs, right? So I'd called around sort of like a desperate dad and sort of got the impression that if we didn't do anything, my wife and I, that there wasn't going to be the change we wanted to see. And I had the fortune of meeting some pretty awesome dads and parents in the rare disease industry to sort of guide me on the way. But I think the goal that what we're trying to accomplish is probably similar to what you're hearing. You know, we want to obviously cure my son's disease, but we want any meaningful change, anything that's going to outcome or give my son and this generation of kids the fullest life possible. And we're trying to do this with urgency and acceleration, so it does have an impact on this generation of kids.
Yeah, that's really important work, Jeff. And I just want to tell you from my experience in the biopharma industry, it is often, right, the parents, the mom and dad of a child that are really the biggest advocates, and they're the ones that can really move the needle forward. And that's why I was so interested in having you here and telling your story so that hopefully we can help you find a team of researchers who wants to work on this condition. So let's move into that. So what have been the challenges so far in attracting researchers or biopharma to CHAMP1 to develop a treatment? Sure.
So, we started virtually from the very bottom, right? Like my son was 38 in the world diagnosed with this disease. Now we've grown, but when you're trying to attract researchers and you don't have the tools and the resources to be able to do that, it's extremely difficult. So that's sort of been the mission, is to sort of build that up. And in the meantime, I've certainly tried my best to make my voice heard and to speak to anyone and any platform to share this story. I feel like it is a blessing that I have been able to tell my story to some compassionate researchers and doctors where they have got involved. And when we started, there was 2 researchers in Europe, and now there's 7 or 8 in the United States. So there has been progress, but it is extremely difficult. I always make the joke, it's like a bad sales job, right? Like you're just cold calling, and it's hard. But now that we've grown and we have some tools, we're doing our best to be attractive towards the biotech industries and researchers, trying to make everything available and freely accessible for them.
Exactly. So let's go deeper into that. I like what you said there. So how does a rare disease become attractive to researchers in your experience?
So we're trying, and it feels like it's taken an eternity because it's been about 6 years, but we've gotten to a point now where we do have mouse models, we do have cell lines. At Cornell Institute, we have LCLs, fibroblasts, an iPSC line, and some more being made. So researchers can get their hands on these tools freely, mouse models and the cell lines, as well as data. We have a growing registry at Simon Searchlight, and all of this is freely accessible. So making it attractive is sort of de-risking this process for them. Streamlining the entire thing for them, so they're able to just jump on it. And a lot of these studies that we're sort of starting, we're still in the early stages of characterizing this information. But as I mentioned, the team that's involved, they're in it for the right reasons, right? They're compassionate. They don't have, to my knowledge, any motives. They're willing to share and collaborate. And I always felt like that was key, right? Like, we're not a huge organization like ALS, so we really need everyone to be on board. And it has been a collaboration and a sort of a facilitation of these relationships to try to get these guys to work together. And it takes time, and that's the frustrating part, but it is moving forward.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So really, it sounds like what you're after is to have your organization be research ready, right? To have all of the all of the data, all of the patients organized, so all the families organized, so that when researchers are ready, or even before they're ready, they can come to your organization and say, we want to go in this direction.
Yeah,
sure. Research ready. Great. All right. So if there is a researcher watching now or in the future who may be able to help the CHAMP1 families, what would you want to tell them?
And just to sort of to piggyback on the last question, being research ready, we have no profit. We're not interested in profit or any gain. The sole purpose of our organization and our community is to better the lives of our children. Yes. And you'd be working with a community of people that are amazing. I know I'm biased, but they truly do participate, and they would make the process for any researcher or company easy, because we're going to provide you with any tools, any data you need, and also having access to a patient community that's willing and able is super important to the process as well.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. Excellent. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you or the CHAMP1 community, where is the best way to find you?
The website, champ1foundation.org, info@champ1foundation.org. So there are a few ways to get in touch with us, but I'm freely available on social media as well. So probably the best way. Yeah.
Very good. And Jeff, is there anything else that you want to leave the audience with before we see if we have any comments?
No, I would be glad to, if anyone has any questions from now or after watching this, I'd be glad to talk to you. And I'm always happy to share anything I can about my son or what we're doing in the foundation. So I'm super grateful, Sandra. I really appreciate the opportunity. And
yeah, no, it's my pleasure. I really believe in this and the power of connection. I was connected to you through a former colleague of mine, Abba Marin, who's connected to a researcher that you know, right? And so yeah. I believe that that's how this gets started. And the more that the right people can hear the message that, here is a condition, CHAMP1, which needs a research team behind it, right, to develop a treatment, then the more that we can get things going in the right direction and help the patients and their families.
I appreciate it. Kevin has been amazing, and so have you, and it takes a community to drive us forward. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well, Jeff, it was great having you on today. Thank you for explaining CHAMP1 to us, the great work that you've done with your foundation, having that patient group and those families research ready. And then I really hope that you do find a team of researchers that can take this forward, and that there is a much better future for those diagnosed with CHAMP1.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for your time today. Mm-hmm.